we can agree that in art, that perspective of the artist's life is important to the piece of art, essentially.
Wait, say that again?
We can agree that for an artist, or the context, more like for a painting, the context of the artist's life is important because what he did, he accomplished, what we were just talking about, Picasso. Yeah. But how is that applied, or is it necessarily applied to graffiti? Because the graffiti is in some kind, at some degree, is totally anonymous. So, how a person can judge it or try to see it from the context, maybe, but he doesn't have it because it's right there in the street.
I got it. One of my favorite artists of all time ever is Jean-Michel Basquiat, who got famous from graffiti. You know, it wasn't traditional graffiti that we were used to. But I have this argument with people all the time, especially graffiti artists and tattoo artists especially too. Tattoo artists that hate modern art. You know, it's like, that doesn't take any skill whatsoever. You know, and I can understand their plight because they sit and work on the same style and trying to better that style and make it look great. And this guy comes up and just draws something real simple. I still respect that art, and I'm not one of those guys. I'm not a loose painter, and I'm very specific to realism a lot. You know what I mean? But I could still have respect and admiration for somebody that can walk up to a piece of canvas and just doodle on it for a while, and they could walk away from it once it's done. In a way, I feel like realism artists and graffiti artists, they're trapped, they're imprisoned by a style and by people, their peers mostly, recognizing and loving that style. You know what I mean? And the same goes for tattooing. So I can't criticize people that do loose art or modern art. You know what I mean? But it's still a form of self-expression.
To you, it is important to know the context of the artist when it comes to a painting, but it doesn't when it comes to a graffiti, for example. Is necessarily the same way?
When I look at art, no, I don't need to know the context of the art. If I love the art enough, I will find out about the context of the artist's life who created it, I think there's a lot of graffiti that's lacking that. There's a few guys that you could see it in there. Bomke from France, BOMK, is one of those guys who I could tell this guy's life from looking at his graffiti, Saber from Los Angeles, MSK, one of the biggest and baddest groups of all time. I could look at how chaotic Saber's life is and see it in his graffiti. Do I need that? No, I don't really need that. I like it. There's a lot of artists. I'm a very, very big sketchbook fan. Like if you look at my backpack right now, I have at least 3 sketchbooks in it that I'm constantly working on. Sketchbooks. And a lot of those sketchbooks are very personal to me. It's not artwork that I would put like on a wall or anything like that. But it's artwork that if I don't do it, it's like smoking cigarettes. Like I get really weird if I don't fucking draw in that sketchbook every once in a while. And you could see it, the difference in it from my graffiti work. I'll show you. Now this artwork is like, stuff that I don't put on the walls. This I draw for myself. And people have been telling me my whole life.
Did you do?
Sketchbooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, just drawings and sketchbooks and stuff.
But did you do the schedule?
Yeah, these are mine. These are I do these, yeah.
Really awesome.
This is my stuff.
Pretty
But
awesome.
that's like very, very different from what I do as far as graffiti goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't know that this stuff would really translate well on a wall. And I have friends of mine that tell me that I should be doing it on the wall. But like graffiti doesn't have that in it right now. It's like, you know, you can't really tell what kind of, I mean, maybe, because I paint like a lot of like graphic, like horror, like material and shit like that, like as far as graffiti. And that's really like a direct answer to like a lot of these street art festivals that they do. You go to fucking any street art festival in the world in America, and it's always like the pretty woman's face surrounded by flowers and shit like that. And there's a place for that, fine. And I can respect an artist that does that. But that doesn't say anything about you or about fucking anything else, you know. It just says that you're trying to paint something for people to look at and be, oh, that's nice, you know.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Right.
I want my fucking artwork to fucking have a physical reaction on you. I want you to physically react to it. If you hate my shit and you hate it with a passion that you fucking can't stand looking at it, that's a win for me.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think,
Yeah, because-
I think maybe I think you do it with the first piece of graffiti that you show us.
Yes,
It
yeah.
was like, wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That shock, it was like, wow. Yeah.
It was
What you're-
funny, like I was doing it when I was painting that. I was in that city in St. Louis painting that, and you know I was there early in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and there's like it's like a street art festival. You know what I mean? So like the local news center or whatever wanted to come down and do an interview with an artist and stuff, and I was like, "You want to get an interview in front of this guy?" It's like, you sure? Because I was the only one there. It was like really early in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to beat the sun and stuff. And I was like, all right, fine, man. You know what I mean? Like, you have this. That's the
For
thing.
some
though.
people, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But you know, something with that, and it's one of the problems that I have with like curators. Curators are people that are designated to pick the artists for each festival. The artists that they think the city's going to want to see. You know what I mean? And I've had problems with curators before. They don't want the kind of art that because I fucking put blood and guts up there, and and I will fucking get excluded from a million fucking street art festivals in a row and not give a fuck about it because I'm not gonna paint something that you want me to fucking paint.
Yeah.
Half the time you guys aren't even paying me money, man. You know, you're telling me it's about fucking recognition and like you're gonna promote us and stuff. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're trying to get free work most of the time, you know? And that's fine. And I'll do it. I'll pay for free. I paint for free all the time. But I paint what I want for free. You know what I mean? And listen, like I said, there's room in this world for beautiful women's faces and flowers around it, you know, and stuff like that. But there's got to be room for my shit in it too. You know?
Yeah.
One of my is like there's a statistic going around, right? That horror movies, like I don't know if you guys love horror movies or not. You ever watch horror movies, scary movies and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Horror movies and stuff. Horror movies, the best horror movies, like when horror movies were at their peak being made, was at a time when society was really, really fucked up. You know what I mean? That the best horror movies come out when society is like really, really fucked up and in turmoil. There's been a lot of really good horror movies that came out this year. This is one of the best years in a long time for horror movies.
Do you think
That
so?
says something. Oh, yes.
Like,
Long Legs, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, In a Violent Nature, fucking dope, dude. Like, The Barbarian, amazing fucking horror movie. You know what I mean?
I'm not a big follower, but of horror movies, but there are some films that are like,
Yes.
I mean, not necessarily because they're horror, but are so well.
That is so well done.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Go see Long Legs. Long Legs.
Long
is-
Legs?
Yeah. Nicolas Cage.
Ah,
He's like a fucking Satan-worshipping serial killer. Oh, forget about it.
Yeah.
So good, dude. It's so good. So scary. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's relevant. It's good stuff. It's relevant. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think. And it's kind of like they call it like a lowbrow art. But no, man. Have you ever seen the movie Seven?
7.
What movie?
Brad Pitt, Seven?
Yeah.
Morgan
The-
Freeman?
the-
The serial killer movie?
No.
Kevin I
I'm not sure.
Spacey.
Kevin
is the
Spacey,
serial
Los Siete
killer.
Pecados Capitales.
Huh?
La de
right.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman también. Sí, una película más vieja. That's one of the most artfully fucking beautiful movies I've ever seen. And that movie's terrifying.
Oof.
It's fucking scary as shit, dude.
Those or like Hereditary.
Yes.
That's a really. I mean, that's horror.
Yeah.
You think that's horror movie?
I think it was a thriller they call it, but I mean, there was enough gore and violence in that movie,
Yeah.
I think. And
Necessarily.
it's scary and like it's kind of a mystery, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Now that I hear you talk about the graffiti and all the stuff, I can see now where all that punk and that hip hop rebellious is where it comes from. Yeah.
For sure, man. Definitely. I love that stuff, man. Definitely.
Talking about the horror movies, I have a classic one, Chucky.
Dude, listen, in America, back in the day when that movie came out, there was still a thing called video stores. Where
Really?
you had to go rent videos that you wanted to watch.
Yeah.
So like, se rentaban los videos, tú sabes, de la película para mirarla en la casa. Ahora se mira en la computadora.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
streaming, tú sabes. Pero antes, you went to a video store para rentar película
Like
en video
Blockbuster.
cassette or DVD, ¿verdad?
Like Blockbuster,
Like
right?
Blockbuster, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Qué jovencito, como tú sabes de esa mierda.
No, here there was a Blockbuster here.
Yeah.
It closed
Yeah.
a lot of years
But
ago.
long time ago, yeah.
Well, when they were promoting a new movie, they used to have these really cool cutouts, like statues almost, for like to promote the new movies. And they had one for Chucky.
Yeah.
And I had a friend that worked at a video store that, like, once the movies already came out and they became less popular, they would get rid of the statues, and he would give them all to me. And I had Chucky in the corner of my room. He sat like this tall with a fucking knife on it and shit. Amazing.
Sick,
so
sick.
cool. Yeah, it's so cool, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
really classic character.
Definitely. I love that, yeah.